Asantino again, thank you mate for your gifts earlier on, you're very kind. He said, do you think we start poaching more super kids? What country do you think has the most underrated for talent? Well, on the super kids part, mate, it is important to point out that after England left the EU, it is impossible for us to go back in and sign players under the age of 18 from the continent of Europe. So this is why maybe you've seen Liverpool change stance a little bit and start to sign up the talent from these shores, or the shores over there, I should say. So it's no surprise to me to see the news today that Liverpool are trying to get this youngster in from Chelsea. Now, often at times, you look at the reaction from opposition fan bases, and the Chelsea fan base really know how good this kid is. I have never heard of him before, you know. I'm like most of you guys, came in today, seen the news, and frantically started to research, look up, and figure out what's going on. But he looks like the real deal. And, you know, I hold a lot of weight into what some of the Chelsea fans have been saying, particularly ones like Alex Goldberg, who know exactly what he's speaking about with all things Chelsea. And he said, make no mistake about it, people inside Chelsea are gutted to lose Rio Ngumoha. He's a true wonder kid and has the potential to be a Musiala, Elise level talent that got away, but he's betting on himself elsewhere. It is what it is. On top of that, Scoop, who are at Academy Scoop, are a good side for keeping an eye on young talent, said, this is one of the biggest academy upsets in recent times. A monumental cock-up on Chelsea's behalf. Absolutely elite talent heading your way, Liverpool fans, which is perfect. I've always said these type of signings really do excite me, the younger players who've seen that pathway, and that's what we need to make clear here. This youngster Rio will have looked at the League Cup final as a good example and seen how many of Liverpool's players in that game came through the academy system. It is always very difficult to pitch to a player why they should come to a Premier League club, because the pathway and the development it's different, it's difficult, and Liverpool have shown that they will give youth a chance if they have the talent. And I think what Jurgen Klopp did, what Arne Slot did, it's important that we do get these signings right, and I'm all for them. I love signing young, hungry, exciting players. My only complaint has really been that I would like a couple of here and nows as well to bridge that time frame for when these young talents come in. He'll be in the first team inside a year, said Alex Macklin. I heard that we've agreed a deal for the 15-year-old, so what about the senior team? Well, I guess it's one step at a time, mate, and this is a pretty exciting talent, this youngster. So Fabrizio Romano was the one who broke this story, I believe, earlier on, saying, exclusive, Liverpool are closing in on a deal to sign Rio Ngumoha as he's leaving Chelsea Academy. Liverpool are set to break their historical wage structure for academy signings, and he's highly rated by the club. Deal set to be completed soon. Exciting stuff, genuinely. Like I think this kid is in the Raheem Sterling levels of talent coming through from underage perspective, so I'm buzzing about it. You know, look at the quality group of youngsters we already have. Jayden Danns, Lewis Kumas, we've seen Connor Bradley come through, really good up and coming young fullbacks as well at the club, so I've no complaints, none. I'm very happy that we're bringing in this type of talent, but like many people are going to say in the chat, and I feel the same, we need to make sure that we look after the here and now as well. Take good care of Rio. He's an absolute gem, said Fidget, who was a Chelsea fan. Thank you, mate. I can kind of understand why he might want to jump ship. You know, if you look at Chelsea, it's a bit of a mixed bag at the minute. They are going around signing up loads of talented youngsters. They've brought in, or an agreement for a left back coming in from Atlanta United over in the MLS as well, $8.5 million. He's going to go on loan to Strasbourg, which is one of the other clubs owned by Todd, I believe, for a season. So I honestly think the League Cup final could have given this guy perspective. You know, you looked at Liverpool's team that day, and you looked at the young players that got on the pitch at Wembley versus Chelsea's, and you would have seen a pathway through. And that's important. It is important that Jurgen Klopp, Arne Slot, and these coaches do show parents, agents, young players that yes, if you come to Liverpool, you will get a chance to come through. You will get minutes on the pitch. We don't just go around hoovering up the best young talent for no reason. We bring them in and try to give them a clear pathway through. And that's a great thing. And I've always been for that. And I still am. I just feel like it needs to be supplemented by the here and now players, giving us time for those guys to develop. My big concern is always putting too much pressure on young players too early. And if they don't live up to that hype, it's their fault. They get scapegoated for the team's performances. And I don't like that. So all over the idea of this signing, just wanted to be backed up with some here and now players. How much do you think Rio's wages will be? Says, honestly, bro, I haven't got a clue. You know, it's been written that it will be higher than we usually pay for young players. We do have a wage structure for the younger players, and apparently we're breaking it to sign this kid, which must tell you one thing. He must be the real deal. You know, for Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, the recruitment team to go so strongly and be willing to break their own structure, you know, I'm excited by what this kid's ceiling is going to be. I just watched a 7-minute video on Rio. He's outrageously good. Goals from 30 yards in the box, dribbles around players like statues. Ran 60 yards, danced through the opposition and scored. Yeah, that's probably the same video I watched. He looked really good. That goal you're talking about, I think he starts from inside his own half, runs past a load of players and then scores. It was pretty interesting. On the information about the youngster, it came from Fabrizio Romano, and it was an exclusive that said Liverpool are closing in on a deal to sign Rio Ngumoha, spelled Ngumoha, as he's leaving Chelsea's academy. Liverpool are set to break their historical wage structure for the academy signing, who's highly rated by the club. The deal is set to be completed soon. And then we spoke about the fact that lots of Chelsea fan accounts were really sorry to see the kid go, spoke about a tremendous talent, and that Liverpool are getting the real deal. So I'm buzzing. Really, really happy about it. The reason I keep saying Rio is because I want to get the pronunciation of his surname spot on before I keep making a mess of it. Because if there's one thing I do consistently, it's mispronounced surname. So let's just call him Rio for the time being. Craig, have we signed that wonder kid from Chelsea? I wouldn't go as far as to say it's done yet, but it's apparently getting done. Fabrizio Romano has said it. Chelsea fans have been saying it on social media. It's been reported by a few people as well. I would say yeah. But until you see the lad holding a Liverpool shirt, or until the club make the announcement, I'm a bit scared about the one from last week where we thought we had the other kid, only for Manchester City to come in at the last minute and take him. So I'm just waiting until we see the official announcement on this one. Ngumoha is either going to be a top talent or another Ryan Brewster. Worst case scenario, we sell him like we did Ryan. That one still escapes me. Like, genuinely, Ryan Brewster, I would have almost bet my life on him to go on to become a top star. You know, he really did everything at underage levels. Top scorer, hat-tricks in semi-finals and finals, I think, of World Cups. Yeah, that Sheffield United move just never felt like the right one for Ryan, and he's never really been able to figure it out since that, which is a shame. I hope that this young man Rio turns out to be more like a Raheem Sterling, you know, somebody who is undoubtedly going to make it to the first team.